All right. So, about 2500 years from today, Mahavir Bhagwan attained moksha. Now, when did he attain moksha? In which kal? In the fourth kal, okay? When there were only 3 years and 8 months left for the fourth kal to finish. That's when he attained moksha. After he attained moksha, Gautam Swami got Keval Gyan. Okay? After Gautam Swami went to moksha, Sudharmacharya got Keval Gyan. 12 years after Sudharmacharya got Keval Gyan, Jambu Swami got Keval Gyan. Okay, so after Jambu Swami, 38 years after he attained Keval Gyan, for 38 years, he traveled all over India preaching about Jainism. Like that, Mahavir Swami, after he went to moksha, total for 62 years, there were Keval Gyanis. How many? 62 years. After Bhagwan Mahavir attained moksha, there were Keval Gyanis. Okay. Now, what happened in the next 100 years? There were five Shruta Kevalis. What are the names of the Shruta Kevalis? Vishnu, Nandi Mitra, Aparajit, Govardhan, and Bhadrabahu. Who all? Vishnu, Nandi Mitra, Aparajit, Govardhan, and Bhadrabahu. These were the five Shruta Kevalis. Now, what happened in the next 183 years is first there was Keval Gyan. After that, there was Shruta Gyan. Okay, so no Keval Gyan, but knowledge of all the Shruta means wisdom from all Janvani. And then after that, Muniraj had partial knowledge of the Dwadashanga. So what are their names? Vishakhacharya, Proshthil, Kshatriya, Jaisen, Nagsen, Siddharth, Dhritashen, Vijay, Buddhilinga, Dev, and Dharmasen. Why do we need to know these names? Because they were the ones in the lineage of Bhagwan Mahavir who kept the Shrutagyan alive because it was passed on from mouth to mouth, from teacher to disciple. Now, in the next 220 years, this is what happened. There were another few Muniraj who had knowledge of 11 Angas. Now, do you all know there is Gyara Anga and Choda Purva? These are divisions of Jinvani. Okay, like Acharang. I'll show you a picture of this. There's Acharang, Sutrakrutang, Sthanang, Samavayanga, Vyakya Pragyaptyanga, Gyatrakrutanga, Upasak Dashanga, Antakrut Dashanga, Upadik Dashanga. Like that, there are 12 Angas called Dwadashanga. So, who remembered 11 Angas? Kshatra, Jaipal, Pandu, Dhruvasen, and Kans Muniraj. Okay, and then for another 118 years, there were four Muniraj: Subhadra, Yashobhadra, Bhadrabahu, and Lohacharya. Okay, and then they were Vinay Datta, Sri Datta, Shiv Datta, and Arhat Datta, who only had partial knowledge out of those Angas. Like that. Now, here comes the important part. 683 years after Bhagwan Mahavir, knowledge was passed on in the oral tradition. Okay? Keval Gyani, Shruta Kevali, Anga Purvadhar. And later, even we lost them. There were no Anga Purvadhars also. What is Anga Purvadhar? The ones Muniraj who had partial knowledge of the 12 Angas. Okay? Now, there was one Muniraj called Arhad Bali Muniraj. Okay? And he was conducting a big convention for the Muniraj. It's called Yuga Pratikraman. After every 5 years. Just like the government changes after every 5 years, and there's a convention, like that, there was a Yuga Pratikraman for all Munirajas in the country. Okay? And different Munirajas were given different names. Like those who lived in caves, those who came from caves, they were given the name Nandi, like Padmanandi Acharya. Those who stayed under the Ashoka Vriksha, it's a big tall tree, they were given the suffix Dev, like Devanandi Acharya. Then those who came from stupas, Pancha Stup, they were given the name Sen and Bhadra, like Jai Sen and Bhadrabahu. And those who lived under Shalmali Vriksha, they were given the name Gupta. And those who came from Keshar Vriksha, they were given the name Chandras. So that's how different Muniraj were given names. Okay. And now in Gujarat, in Saurashtra Desh, there was one city called Junagadh, okay? And near that city, there was a mountain, Urjayant, and there was a cave called Chandragiri Cave. And there lived Dharsen Acharya, who had very little knowledge of the fourth division of Agrayani Purva. Okay. And he realized he was forgetting, his memory was getting very, very weak. So he sent a brahmachari, he sent a letter with a brahmachari, okay, to Aradbali Acharya. And that night when he was sleeping, he saw in his dream two white, shiny white bull were approaching. And he was wondering, what does this dream mean? And then he realized that the two bulls were actually two Muniraj who were going to come to him. Okay. Now, after 2 days, both the Muniraj were given a mantra. Okay. And they had to meditate upon the mantra. And when they meditated, one what happened is one of the two Devis came, okay? Two beautiful Devis came. But one of them had eye which was squint, okay? It was not a proper eye, and the other one had teeth jutting out. So the Muniraj thought something is not right with the mantra. They started meditating upon again. It's called mantra siddhi, okay? And then when they won, so Muniraj realized, one of them realized there's one alphabet less in it. And that's why the Devi with a squint eye came in front of him. And one Muniraj realized he's added one alphabet into the mantra, one letter into the mantra. And that's why that tooth jutting out Devi came in front of him. And then the Devi asked them, what can I do for you? And both the Muniraj said, we want nothing from you. And they again kept on meditating upon. And when they finished meditation, they went to Dharsena Acharya and they told him about what they had seen. Then Dharsena Acharya realized that these two Muniraj are very, very sharp, intelligent, and they will be able to retain everything, all the knowledge that he tells him. Okay? And then Acharya Dharsen, he taught both of them and he told Pushpadant Acharya to start writing. Okay? Pushpadant, you know why he was called Pushpadant? Because he actually had a tooth jutting out. His teeth were very crooked. But because of that mantra, see, mantras have a lot of power. Because of saying that mantra, the Devi actually straightened his teeth. That's why Pushpa is flower. He had beautiful teeth later. That's why he was called Pushpadanta. And the other was called Bhutabali because one of the devs, Devgati devs, which are of the Jati Bhut, they came and they did his puja. That's why he was called Bhutabali. Later, both the Muniraj, they did Vihar and Pushpadanta Acharya gave Diksha to one of his students and then he went away and started writing. And Bhutbali Acharya went to another place called Madurai. Now, Pushpadanta Acharya, his student Jin Palit, he too taught his students. See, this is Pushpadanta Acharya. He was teaching all his students and he wrote 177 sutras. And then he sent the Grantha to Bhutbali Acharya, who wrote 6,000 sutras. Okay? And he created the 40,000 sutras of Mahabandha. All right? That's how the first Shatkhandagam, Mahabandha Adhikar, was created. Okay? And that was the day of Jeshta Shukla Panchami. That is the day Shruta Panchami is celebrated with great, great pomp and fervor. And Acharya, in front of Acharya also, all the people came and they did puja of Acharya. Okay, after that, there's thousands and thousands of granth which are written. But do you know what happened? There was one king, I forgot the name of that king, and he was a Muslim king. Uh, and what he did is there was this university called Nalanda University, where there were many, many books, over 90,000 books. And you know what he did? He actually, and there was a lot of Jinwani also there. He actually burned, he put everything on fire. And do you know for how long was it burning? For 6 whole months, Chinwani kept burning. And that's how we have hardly any Shruta. We have barely any knowledge that is uh, knowledge straight from the Muniraj that has been remaining. But whatever little knowledge we have is more than enough for us to attain dash. हम क्या attain कर सकते हैं उसमें से? Yes, Arhan?
Samyak darshan.
Samyak darshan. Okay, we have all the knowledge that we need to attain Samyak darshan. ठीक है? So that was the story of Shruta Panchami. So Neev, if you are wondering what we are talking about, Neev must be wondering, this is not Bal Bodh 1, 2, 3. This is not Vitarag Vigyan. What is this? So we are talking about Shruta Panchami, which is it's also called Gyan Panchami by many people. Okay, that was the day Shruta Gyan was actually passed forward. That cycle of passing forward knowledge started in the scriptured form today. Now let's go to our Vidarak Vigyan. Okay, so your exams are going to be sometime in July, and you'll have Vidarak Vigyan part 1, 2, and then you will have Namokar Mantra Ek Anushilan. All right. So I'm going to send all the books to you all. Yes, Dhruvi, you'll have to do Bal both, beta, isn't it? Because, or are you doing both? What are you doing?
I don't know. I'll ask my mom and confirm.
I,
I'll tell you after.
I think you'll be doing Bal both because that's first year for y'all, isn't it? And I
Mm-hmm.
can check because you all are advanced students like you and your sister as well, if you can do Bhitarag Vigyan and Bal both. I'll check.
I think Chaunchi will do this
Bhitarag.
one, and I
Mhm.
might do the Sunday batches. I'm
All
not sure. I'll ask my mom.
All right, not a problem. Yeah, that sounds good. Now, we have finished with Vitarag Vigyan part 1, 2, and 3. Let me quickly open up mm, Vitarag Vigyan 2 English. Oopsie. Give me 1 second. Yeah, there it is. Chaliye, let me open it up. Yes, Dhruvi, are you trying to say something? Okay.
This is out of topic. This is about Naminath Bhagwan.
Mm-hmm.
So this video that we watched on Sunday.
Yeah.
So they trapped the animals because why did
Mm-hmm.
they trap the animals?
They trapped the animals so that the king's procession, his barat, could go without any disturbance.
Because in the video it said for like meat like to eat.
Right. Well, now this is sort of a controversy, okay? Because do you think now this is a question for everyone? If you all don't know what Dhruvi is saying, Dhruvi comes to the Sunday batch as well, and they watched this Ruhi Didi, isn't it? Ruhi Didi shared a video
Mm-hmm.
about Naminath Bhagwan, and in Naminath Bhagwan, when his wedding was organized, okay, his chariot was going to pass by in the evening, and that's the time when all the animals from the farms return home. So in the video, you know what they said? All the animals were tied, were caged, because they were going to be killed for meat, to be served in Eminath's wedding. Now, do you think that would be true? Do you think someone who's going to be a Tirthankar, all right, in the same birth, his family or his kingdom, uh, or people in his kingdom would be eating meat? What do you think, Neev? Not a possibility, isn't it? So sometimes in Pratmana Yoga, in stories, there can be certain controversies. But actually, the reason they were all caged is because how in the evening all the animals return back to the from the farm into the city, into the town. Okay. And that's why they caged all the animals. So the calves and their mums, the calves and the cows were separated. And they were all shouting because they were hungry and they wanted to go to their mums. Okay. And then when King Neminath asked the person who ran his chariot, why are the animals shouting and screaming? He said, Well, they are kept separate, they are tied so that there should not be any disturbance in your procession, so that your wedding can be very, very grand. And then Neminath, he realized, oh my goodness, how can this world be so selfish? He realized that, and then he said, no, take the chariot back. I'm not getting married. He said, I want to take Diksha. And he took the chariot from the opposite direction and he went into the forest and took Diksha. Okay, so that was the story. All right, Dhruvi, is your query answered, beta? All right. So next time, remember, even if sometimes there are certain things which might not sound right to you, remember it's just a story and that might not be true. Not everything might be true. Okay, chaliye. Now let us start with Vitarag Vigyan part 2. So we first did the prayer of Sakal Gyayak Tadapi. Now, Avika, Neve, do you all remember this? Of course, it's going to be an open book exam, so you should not have any problem. But do you all remember everything that we've learned, beta? Neve, Avika, Arhan, bolo beta. And you can sit with your mom and dad and answer the paper, of course, like last year. But my question to you all is, do you all remember? Unmute karo, Neve, Avika, Arhan.
Remember, like, about Pandit Daulat Ram, or
About the crux of the chapters, like how there's in this puja there were eight
I don't really remember the last part that we did last week.
last part. Okay, give me 1 second. So here's what we did last week. Okay, we revised the 7 fundamentals, the 6 essentials. uh, we actually last week we did the Vitarag Vigyan part 2. We started revising from Vitarag Vigyan part 2. Let me go to part 2. I thought I'll revise part 2 first so that because it was taught last, so it would be fresh in your memory. Give me 1 second. Oops, why are we going on to Kahoot every time? There we go. Are you all able to see it here? So here's what we saw. Errors in understanding the Sat Tattva. Sat Tattva Sambandhi Bhool. You remember I taught you all thinking the Jeev is the Ajeev, the soul is the body, is Jeev Tattva ki bhool. Thinking the Ajeev is the Jeev, is Ajeev Tattva ki bhool. Do you all remember that? Avika, Neve, yes? And thinking that Paap and Punya Bhav are good for me. That is Asaraf Tattva ki bhool. Being happy or sad in the fruition of Punya and Paap Bhav is Band Tattva ki bhool. Samvar, which is stoppage of karmas. You don't like it. That is Samvar Tattva Sambandhi bhool. And Nirjara means tap acha nahi lagta. That is Nirjara Tattva ki bhool. So this is all that we had studied last time. And then we studied the classification of scriptures. Avika, you remember? Pratmani Yog, Karnani Yog, Charnani Yog, and Dravyani Yog. That's what we studied. Then we studied about the 7 the 3 lok, the Urdhva lok, the Dev lok, Narak, and Manushya, and Madhya lok. Okay, we learned the 3 loks, we learned the 7 addictions, we learned what non-violence is, and the Ashtanika festival and Bhagwan Parshvanath. I think that's where we had finished last time. So we had actually completed the entire syllabus for Vitarag Vigyan part 2. Do you remember Dhruvi, Avika, Aran, Neve? Do you all remember? Now I have a question for y'all. Okay, I have a very important question for all of y'all. Do you think you all should present a few topics so that you can start preparing them? Because this is what's going to happen. If I teach you, I'll keep revising and you'll keep forgetting. Okay, but if you take a topic and you learn how to present it, you'll be able to remember it more. What do you think? Avika, are you a bit tired today? Long day for you? Thak gayi ho?
Kind of.
I can see that. Yes, so Neve, Dhruvi, Arhan, Avika. What do y'all think? From next week, does each of you want to take 2 chapters and start revising the 2 chapters? So you will just write short notes about the chapters to explain. Does that
I
make sense?
think I think I will. I will take one.
Yeah, you can start with one chapter. So what I mean by 2 chapters over the next 2 weeks, each chapter, each week, you can take one chapter. Does that sound good?
Yeah. So
Neve?
basically, we while you're revising it, we take short notes on it.
No, no, that's not what I mean. So the notes have been taken when I taught the chapter. But next week, what you'll do is we'll start with Vitarag Vigyan part 1. You'll choose any one topic and you'll present that topic in class. Okay? Now, let's start with Vitarag Vigyan part 1 right now because some of the things in that are super duper easy. You already know a lot of things in that. For example, soul and the supreme soul, Atma or Paramatma. I don't even need to share this to you all actually, because we saw this in such detail. Do you remember we saw 3 forms of Atma? Bahiratma, which is outward looking soul, Antaratma, which is inward looking soul, and Paramatma is a pure and perfected soul. Do you all remember this? Neve, Avika, and Arhan? Bahiratma is the one who thinks the body is me, the house is me, the computer is me. Antaratma is the one who thinks that my soul and body is separate. And there's 3 types of Antaratmas. And the Paramatma is the one who has destroyed his karmas. 2 types of Paramatmas. Sakal is Arihants who have a body. Nikal is Siddhas who do not have a body. They've
फुल
lost all.
अटेंशन पे करो क्लास में, समझी तुम?
I am.
That's all right. Shali, so do you remember this? Or you think you're forgetting it? Do you think we need to change our time to slightly earlier? If you all are getting a bit tired? Arhan, yes? Slightly earlier? Neve, will you be able to join slightly earlier?
Yeah.
All right. So next week we will have class at um should, should we had at 7:30. Should we start class at 7 p.m. instead of 7:40? Will that work for you? Neve? So maybe
Yes.
for those who have dinner later, or after class, you'll be able to have dinner also early then. So next week, let's try this so that you don't get too tired. Okay? Now, yes, Dhruvi, bolo beta.
Can we do it like around 7:10?
7:10. Well, maybe I'll start at 7 and we can do the Stuti and Bhakti and then you can join at 7:10. Okay? So you won't miss out on any of the teaching. All right? Because I think it takes 5 minutes for everyone to settle down. So I'll write 7 and then you can join by 7:10. Okay? Chali. So Arhan, Avika, Dhruvi, and Neve. Out of Vitarag Vigyan part 1, you pick any one topic and then you share with everyone next week. Okay, Avika, you take care, take rest.
Arham isn't here.
Arhan, I'm sorry.
You
I
said
meant Arhan.
Arham, then you said Arhan.
Yes, thank you for correcting me. Okay. So I'll see you all next week then. I think we can stop here because it's been a long day for you all, seems like. So, Neve, do you have exams or anything in school? Because you would be secondary school.
Um, no, it's all been finished.
Oh, that's good. That's good. So then I can have no excuses that I wasn't be able to do it. So let's actually select the topics today so that we have things clear. Okay. So Arhan can take any one chapter and the rest can take a couple of chapters because it's actually going to be very, very easy. Let me share my screen. And Dhruvi, you can also pick one chapter, beta. Okay. Now, there's this prayer and there's soul and the supreme soul. Prayer, maybe leave the prayer to me. We can do like two stanzas every week. Okay. Soul and supreme soul is Atma or Paramatma. 7 fundamentals is Sat Tattva, 6 essentials, Karma, Raksha Bandhan, Jambu Swami, and Bara Bhavna. So, pick, Neve, I think you can do 2 or 3 even, isn't it? Which ones, Arhan, which one do you want to pick? Quickly. Arhan, we'll leave one for you, only one. Unmute karo.
Karma.
Karma. Arhan wants to destroy his karma first. Chalo, Arhan ke liye karma. Dhruvi.
7 fundamentals.
7 fundamentals. Now, Dhruvi, that is a very, very easy topic. So, do you want to take 7 fundamentals from Vidrag Vigyan 1 and maybe 6 essentials? Because both these are very, very easy for you.
Okay.
All right. Maybe aim for 2, and if you can't do both, do at least 1. Okay.
Oh, wait, if I can't do one, can I give it to my sister?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, sure. Okay. And if you think you won't be able to do 2, you can just do 1. I'll leave that to you all. Yes, Avika and Neve, what would you prefer?
I'll take Raksha Bandhan
Hmm?
and Jambu Swami.
Oh, good. Both these are very simple, very easy topics. Very nice. Neve?
What are the remaining ones?
Well, the soul and supreme soul and Bharathamna, 12 wishful reflections.
Okay, I'll do both of them.
Both of them? All right. That's excellent. Now, can you do me a favor? Right away on the group, Dhruvi, I don't think you are onto that group. Dhruvi, what's your mom's name? I have to add your mom to that group.
I think my mom is in the group.
No, she's actually in the new group, in the Sunday group. She's not on the Wednesday group.
Oh, her name is Shreya Shah. Can I just go
Yeah.
check on her phone?
I will check. Okay, I'll check. But Neve, Avika, and Arhan, can you write the topics you are going to present next week on our group? Okay, write
I
it straight away. Write it straight away so that I know you all are doing it. Okay. Yeah, yeah. So Dhruvi, I have your mom's name here. Yes, Dhruvi, bolo beta.
Is this a group? Wait 1 second.
Panchala Vidrag Vigyan.